As usual, starting off another day of fishing at the gas station. Since the Suzuki sips gas, I didn't need gas in the boat today, just the truck, and I got on the road. Alright guys, we have just hopped on the road, or actually we've been on the road for a minute, but we are heading to put the boat in the water here, and we're going to do some snook fishing. There has been a ton of mullet around. Mullet run is pretty much in full swing. I'm sure no matter where you are on the East Coast, you've seen a bit more mullet than normal, either running the beaches or in the rivers, stuff like that. But we're gonna try to put some snook in the boat, hopefully a big one. We'll throw some NLBN around, match the hatch, throw some low mullets, mini mullets, even have a big mullet tied up. And we have a full moon, I believe, tomorrow. So I usually like fishing the days like before the full moon, or like the days coming up to it. So I don't know, it seems like the stars might be aligning for some good fishing today. Maybe nail a big snook, a giant snook I should say, but that's that. We are gonna be putting the boat here in the water in about I think 15 minutes, but it looks good, so I'll see you guys there. Big tarpon! Oh, big snook! Gosh, that was a sick beat on the little mullet. Alright, well, we have made it out on the water, guys, and I actually have all 3 different size mullets from NLBN rigged up on 3 different setups here. But we're going to start with the little mullet right here, the classic, the OG. This is a fresh mullet, little mullet right here. So this should work. We're going to start with this. I also have a mini mullet tied up in murder mullet, and I have a big mullet tied up. So we might work all 3 of those baits today. I guess we'll just have to see. We're gonna throw the mangroves, we're gonna throw docks. We're just gonna do what it takes to catch some good snook today. It's pretty cloudy right now, so we'll see how that affects things today. Should help with the snook bite, I would think. Hopefully we'll be able to knock out fish later into the day. And yeah, let's get right to it. Let's get fishing. Oh, another dock holding a smaller snook under there. Just missed it though. Yep. Bunch of them under there. Oh, dang. Yeah, a bunch of them under there. They're just not super big. I don't know if there could be a bigger one in there. Just a handful of smaller snook in there. It's good to see. Could just be, you know, the dock. Maybe the next dock is holding a 30-incher and he pops the little mullet. It seemed like the ones that were in there were just 18 inches, if that. Oh, big snook back in there. Come on, hit it again. Tough. Good bite under there. Really good bite. That first cast in there, I don't know if I got antsy and pulled it back too quickly or just the snook just missed the bait. But it was a good blow up under there. Definitely a snook. There's a fish. Nice little snook. Came out of the trees there. See if I can get him in the boat. Yes, sir. There we go. Made contact with one. Or I should say connected with one. Good one, too. He ate it. Ate it real good. Pretty little one, not huge or anything, but just swiped the little mullet right there. There's a ton of mullet right here. Go ahead and shoot him back. A ton of mullet that are like the exact same size here. So we're kind of matching the hatch a little bit. It's about time we found a snook. I've been skipping the mangroves all morning. It hasn't been super crazy. I haven't seen very much fish, so maybe that's all it is. I'm just not in the right area, but maybe moving into the right area right here. But yeah, that was a subsurface eat. They're just working it left, right, kind of under the water. And saw that fish come flying across it. We'll keep working here. Maybe there's some more. Yeah, an absolute ton of mullet around. It's just only a matter of time before. Dang, bro. Oh, I gotta go back in there. That pot of mullet that I was just kind of working around, I didn't get any bites on, just got absolutely destroyed back in his pocket. Let me shoot over there real quick. They just got blew up on big time. I don't know if those were snook or what. Don't know what blew them up though. Oh, snook just came up and hammered it. Yep, hit it again. Keep missing it. Right under the boat. Oh, there's one under the boat right here. Oh, I couldn't really hook set. But a nice like 22 incher, probably a little bit bigger than the last one, swam up right under the boat right there. And ate it right under me. Let me see. I know there's snook in here. It just seems like they're kind of finicky the way they want the bait. Seems like they are liking it subsurface more. Letting it sink down below the pot of mullet here. Seems like they're eating it a little bit better. Here's another one ready. Yep. Dumped it. Dumped it. Oh, they're fired up right here. Fired up. Under the boat. I can almost figure eight them. That one came off. That was kind of an awkward fight, but there's snook all up in here. And they're on this pot of mullet. They're not realizing that I am here. I'm just power poled down right here, sitting right at the mouth of this little creek. Come on, give me another one. Oh, redfish, 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 redfish. Nice fish. Nice fish. Came up and smoked it. Nice redfish. Just came up and just, dude, I saw his head come up behind the little mullet. Oh, he's barely hooked. Hold on. Barely hooked. I gotta stay tight with him. He's not, yeah, he's not hooked great. Oh my gosh, barely hooked. I have a net now on the boat. Let me try that. Hey, net coming handy. Good redfish. I'm gonna leave him right here in the water for just a moment and then I'll bring him in. Sick. What a fish, man. Yep, and he came off in the net there. Oh, nice fish on the low mullet. All right, well, beautiful redfish right there. Got him on the low mullet. He's probably a 22 incher. He's not giant, but he's not small either. Got some weight to him. Just snuck right up behind the low mullet there and just inhaled it. But yeah, let's go ahead and put this guy back in the water. And the net came in handy there. He was barely hooked. All right, buddy. right on back. Well, these snook have been dusting the little mullet right here in this little pocket where there's just a ton of little finger mullets. And that worked out perfectly. I was just sitting there kind of messing with the snook, flipping back and forth, and I was twitching just below the surface, and that redfish face came right up behind it and twitched it one more time, and it just went boom and got it. But good fish. I know there's snook around here. Let's keep working. Maybe we can find another snook before we move away from this area. There's just a lot of bait. All right, we're gonna make a move here. All right, so a couple hours of fishing down here in the EVO, and we've knocked out a red and a snook. We lost a snook at the boat, but no big deal. And it's not amazing, honestly, today so far. I feel like we haven't hit the fish like right on the head. We fished a large area. It seemed like all the fish were in one little tiny spot. So that happens a lot, no shocker, but we're gonna make a move here and hopefully move into maybe some clearer water. This water's not super clean and there's not a ton of bait. So that's what we're looking for. Let's do it. Bunch of snook right here under this dock. Hit it and missed it. All over it though. Come on, hit it again. No, dude. Didn't grab. That was a good fish. Oh, big snook! Big snook! Stay with me, stay with me. It's a good one, not a huge one, but very, very nice fish right there on the seawall. Ho, ho, ho. Just trying not to get you in anything, trying to go under the boat. Nice fish. Nice fish. This may be the biggest snook from the EVO thus far. Oh, come on, come on. Let's get you. Let's get you in. There we go. No, come here. Hooked him really good. Great fish. Just gonna leave the fish here in the water for just a moment. Let it catch its breath. I think that is the biggest snook from the EVO. How's it go? Like I said, probably 31. Let's bring them in. All right, guys. Well, sick snook right there on the little mullet in smoked mullet. Smoked it right on the seawall there. There's some rocks and seawall, and I just sat there and just flicked it in there and dragged it on down. Basically just dribbling it up on the surface, and this guy came up and smoked it, and I think this is the biggest snook so far on the new boat. I will take it. I'll take it. Let's go ahead and put this guy back in the water. All right, please forgive me, guys. I am getting a ruler made right now for the EVO. I decided we're gonna put it up front. A C-deck ruler, but for right now, I'm gonna have to eyeball this one. Hooked him real good too. Pull that out. That fish was ready to go. All right, well, it has been pretty slow since, what was the last fish? The redfish? And ended up working a while on the shoreline. I had a couple blow-ups, but didn't connect with anything. And right there, smoked mullet, little mullet, a classic. Got thumped. But man, slow day, and I'm happy we got that one. That was sweet. That was sweet. But all right, I was just about to say, all right, I gotta move again and find somewhere fresh. And of course I catch that fish right there. So now of course, what do? I gotta keep fishing. Gotta keep working the shoreline after I hadn't had much luck that like for a mile or two down the shoreline. Now I'm gonna try to keep fishing it and see if maybe there's another fish down this way, but nice one. That one makes me happy. It was a good one. Oh, little guy just came up and grabbed it. I actually brought it to a complete stop and he just came up and just slurped it up. He's not really that little, honestly. Yeah, he's little, but not that little. He's gonna be a big one one day. One day. One day this little guy is gonna be 40 inches, but that is a little while away. A little 18 incher, 16 incher. Gonna head dive him back. Came out from under the dock there, and like I said, I brought the bait to a complete stop, and that fish just came up and ate it. Just came up and ate it. All right, we have some full-grown tarpon rolling back behind me in open water. I got the NLBN big mullet tied on. Cross our fingers. Let's hope we get a bite. Big tarpon! Smoked the big mullet! Smoked it! Giant! Giant! He smoked it! Absolute monster! Oh, wait! No, I got him! I think he threw the bait out of his mouth. Literally came airborne. Airborne on that bait. Oh, here we go. Giant river tarpon on the big mullet. Let's see what we got coming up for a jump here. Coming up for a jump. Absolute beast. I cannot believe that fish just smoked. Smoked. All right, here we go. 5,500 pen authority here. 40-pound braid, 60-pound fluorocarbon leader. Let's see what we could do. Big fish. Big fish. I'm very curious how I hooked this fish. Oh my gosh. Hey, this has absolutely made my day. Made my day. This looks like an 80-pound tarpon on one of the mullets. I cannot believe that. I was working it, and that tarpon just came up, flew out of the water, and ate it. That had to have been the eat of my life right there. Fish. I know he threw the bait out of his mouth because I saw it go flying, and I thought that was it throwing the bait and the hook, but we're still hooked up here. Come on. What a fish. What a fish. I think we've landed 2 jumps now. Or we've survived, I should say. Fish is coming to the boat here. I want to see where that fish is hooked. That's probably the biggest thing right now. Is see where that fish is hooked. And how. Oh my gosh. Burning. 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 Dude, that drag is screaming. I don't think this is the biggest fish I've ever hooked in the river, ever. In my life. Right here, right now. I don't think I've ever been this deep back in the line either. Let's see what we can do. Chase this fish. Come on. I'm so happy
I picked up the big mullet right there on my big setup. I had it rigged for this specific reason, but I think I made a cast or two at these fish with the little mullet on my smaller rod. I didn't quite grasp the size of them. This is a full grown one, so I'm happy we got the right setup here. I hope I can get them to the boat. This is a fight right here. This is probably going on 6-7 minutes now. Ideally, a fish this size, I think you should land in less than 15, so we're gonna shoot for that right there. But we're probably 6-7 minutes in right now. I'm gaining a lot of line right here. This fish, yeah, I think it's pushing 80. Definitely my biggest fish ever out of the river. Crazy how things happen. I had seen a couple roll, and I was like, man, I just got to go out there and fish them. I don't want to sit here and watch them roll. I was trying for snook. I said, might as well just go out there. It's probably a 1% chance I get a bite, and I got the bite. There she is. Yeah, she's probably 80. I think that's what I'll give her, somewhere in that 80 to 100 range. She's wide and heavy for her length. I don't think it's the longest fish I've ever caught, but she is sure wide. I think a little bit different than the beach tarpon. I think the beach tarpon are moving a lot more, a lot leaner. This fish is holding a lot of weight for the length of it. If we get this is gonna be biggest tarpon and biggest snook ever on the EVO, on my EVO. It'll be 2 personal bests for the boat in one day. Yeah, she's about there. She's about there. That hook is, I think it's right in the nose. Exactly where I needed it to be on this fish. Sorry for all the moaning, but a lot of this is a fight and a half. Not like any snook, any redfish, nothing compares to this. When it comes to the amount of force you need to apply on these fish to get them in a reasonable amount of time. So close. They're so close, man. Dragging the boat around and we'll pull the fish to us. Come on. Man, she just hit the gas. I think she realized how shallow the water she was in, and she didn't like that at all. Man, come on. All right, this is it right here. Come on. This fish is unreal heavy. Unreal. I cannot believe I've not got it to the boat yet. Probably pushing 20 minutes here. Coming in on that. I think this fish is heavier than I think. It is so incredibly wide on the back. I have seen plenty of tarpon this size. I don't know if I've ever seen one like that fat. It has to be just sitting in the river, just feeding on mullet every day, getting so overweight. Gonna roll. Unreal heavy. Unreal heavy. Oh yeah, she big. Come on. Come on. Dude. Whew. fish. Oh my gosh. That is the hardest fish I've ever fought solo. Absolute behemoth. Popped out. Oh, we're gonna get the trolling motor pulling forward, send this fish on its way. Unreal. Unreal the size. Oh, that's a 100-pounder all day long. All right, I think she's about good. Insane fight. Whew. Oh my gosh. Dude. If you're ever casting at big tarpon and you're just casting, at any moment you could be put in an insane 30-minute fight. That's what that took. That fish was way over 80. I said that was 100, 115. I don't know for sure. That was by far the girthiest tarpon I have ever seen in my entire life. The back must have been this wide. Oh my gosh. I have no words right now. I'm gonna have to take a minute and catch my breath. I went full 100% on that fish the whole fight. I did the best that I could to fight it as fast as possible. That fish was unreal. I want to say that was the biggest tarpon I've ever caught, weight-wise. Weight-wise, that was definitely the biggest I've ever got to my hand. Well, unfortunately, I don't have the big mullet. It flew off on the fish's first jump. But I do have the hook. This is that 10-0 that NLBN has on their website. It is the size hook that goes with the big mullet. And honestly, I don't even think I have another big mullet in the boat. That was the only one I had tied up. If you've never seen one, well, I showed it earlier. No, I might have another one right here. It is just a big lil mullet called the big mullet. Pretty self-explanatory, but that was I'm gonna say that was the biggest tarpon of my life. Right there on the big. Unreal. I'm shaking, honestly shaking. My muscles are gone. Not anywhere ready for anything like that. I thought the fish that were rolling were like 50 pounds. There are some big ones, I mean, but actually hooking the big one, that's like, it never happens. It never happens. You see the giant snook, of course they don't eat, the small ones eat. You see the giant tarpon rolling, of course the small ones eat. But right there, that was the big tarpon that actually ate and got it to the boat. Incredible. Alright guys, to finally kind of wrap up this video, I wanted to end off the video with a little bit of a tutorial for you guys. So we did pretty good today, honestly, all the way around. I think that tarpon topped it off, but I wanted to show you guys a few different ways I work the bait and why I work the bait that way. So I had a question in my DMs a couple days ago over on Instagram, someone asking me, how do I work the mullets? They were having trouble with it, so I'm gonna explain it right here. It's really not too complicated, it's very simple. This will work essentially for the mini mullets, little mullets, and big mullets. It's not rocket science here, but I'm gonna walk you guys through it. Pay attention right here, right now. All right, so what you are going to do here, if you have rigged your little mullet, or if you have rigged your mullet right, nobody usually ever has any issues with how to rig a little mullet, mini mullet, or big mullet, but they have issues with how to work it. A lot of people think that with NLBN mullets, they're supposed to work some perfect sort of way. Maybe they're used to like your typical top water, walk the dog style. The mullet, it doesn't do that. It is really hard to get it to do that. If you ever do, it's maybe for a 1-2 little left, right, you know, but it is hard to get it to do some perfect action. It is pretty sporadic, and that is the reason it catches so many fish. So there's two different retrieves I would work with it. One is what I've used today, what I just caught that giant tarpon on. It is kind of my frantic retrieve. So what you're going to do is cast it out, and you're going to work it back really quickly on the surface, just dribbling it. Just like this, just dribbling it. The mullet isn't doing anything too crazy. It's not jumping left and right. I mean, it is jumping every which direction, but a consistent direction, I should say. That is the frantic retrieve. Just quick, boom, skipping it across the surface, making it look like a frantic mullet trying to get away from something. And of course, you can also mix that in with some pauses. You can work it quick, stop it, and then bring it back to the surface, work it quick, you know, try to play the fish that you're casting to. You know, try to work the bait in relation to what they do to the bait. If they chase it down hard, maybe speed it up a little bit. If they stop chasing it, maybe slow it down a little bit, you know, find whatever rhythm works. But for the most part, work it quick, work it frantically, just on the surface, just like this. All I'm doing is reeling and just twitching the rod tip, and it's just causing that mullet to just go every which direction, up, down, left, right on the surface. Pretty simple. The second way I would work any of the mullets is just a slow retrieve. You cast it under a tree just like that, and you want it to sink down. Maybe there's a redfish under there, maybe there's snook down low, and you just light twitch, just little twitches. Pause, little twitches. And essentially what that is going to do, if I bring the mullet over here real close, it is going to sink, and then when you twitch, it's going to do kind of a swooping motion like this. Every which direction. It's not going to do a perfect left to right. Sometimes it'll go up and then it'll go down. It'll do kind of every which direction, just like this. You guys can see that there. Just like that. And that is actually how I caught the redfish today. If you guys remember, I was working it low under the mullet, the little tiny mullets that were in the water there. I was working it real low and just twitching it left to right. I saw that redfish come up on it, and I slowed it down and twitch, and that redfish, oh, there's a snook on it right now. No way, hold on. Okay, there's a perfect example of that. Maybe a 20-inch snook just came up on the bait. I was working it real low, just twitching. You know, it's up to you guys how you work the bait and when you work it in that sort of way. Sometimes if I'm blind casting, just skipping mangroves, like there's little gaps like this under the mangroves, I'll work it out quick. You know, I'll skip it in there and just dribble it out. Something quick. A lot of times snook will come racing out of that mangrove, chasing down the mullet, trying to eat it. Sometimes you could do the complete opposite. Both might work. It just depends. Maybe it depends on water temp, where you're at, what species you're targeting. Just mix it up. Try to figure out what works for you. Work it fast, work it slow. It's really not rocket science. I don't think you guys should be expecting any sort of perfect action from this bait. I think it's very good that it goes every which direction. That's why it catches so many fish. All right, now with that being said, we caught fish on the little mullet, the big mullet. We did great today, all around. Big shout out to NLBN, they're a sponsor of the channel. We catch a lot of great fish on their baits. If you want to try out any of the mullets I used today, whether mini, big, or low, or mini, low, or big, you can try them out on nlbn.com. Go grab them, try them, give them a shot. Fish them in the morning, the afternoon, at night. Try them, just figure them out. It's not rocket science, it's fishing, it's fun. And I think that's all I got to say for today. I am worn the heck out. It is time for me to head home. That tarpon really beat me up. I'm glad we got him good today. That's a slam, by the way. Some sort of slam. Redfish, snook, and tarpon. That's pretty solid. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in that next video.